Alright guys, I know we all have our own very strong opinions on what should happen. A lot of the times, the differing opinions come down to big events, like this March 14th vote with AMC, and this is a pretty big deal. Now, you guys also know that we like the street over here on this channel. They're pretty neutral on their overall stance on AMC. They tend to give you the straight up facts about what they see happening, right? This is the street, the news, publicator. Let's just call them that. I don't even know. Use whatever word you want. News outlet, publicator, whatever. This article says 7 reasons why AMC shareholders should vote yes on the ape conversion. The movie theater chain's management is calling on shareholders to vote yes on converting ape units into AMC common shares. Here's why CEO Adam Aron says it's a good idea. After these 7 reasons, they give their own opinions on this, and I think it's key for especially people that don't want to see this vote happen, that want to know coming on March 14th to watch this video, because you always have to entertain both sides, whether that is a yes or a no on March 14th. Specifically because that's the biggest event upcoming with AMC, because you want to know what's going to happen if you are wrong, right? You want to know the positives to this in case the vote does go through. And I think that's why it's especially important for people that want a no on this vote to watch this video. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, do what you guys want in that regard. If you have not done it already, well, you're wasting time, baby, and we're wasting time by explaining all this information without getting into it, so let's get straight to it. I already read the headline and the sub title of this article, so we're not going to do that. Now, it says on March 14th, AMC shareholders will vote on converting ape units to common stock and effecting a 10-to-1 reverse split on shares. CEO Adam Aron recently listed 7 reasons why shareholders should vote yes, from helping the company diversify to fixing the disparity between ape units and AMC shares. Thanks to Antira Capital's Ape Holdings, a yes vote looks possible. We'll also talk about that. So, what are AMC shareholders voting on? On March 14th, AMC Entertainment will hold a special meeting for shareholders. On the agenda is a vote on 3 proposals. To increase AMC's authorized common stock so that ape shares can convert into common shares. Number 2, to effect a reverse split of the company's common shares at a ratio of 10-to-1. Number 3, to give AMC more flexibility to issue additional common equity in the future. More than half of shareholders must vote yes to approve the proposals. Management's goal is to use the apes to raise more cash. However, by converting apes into AMC common shares, the company will dilute its stock, which will certainly hurt AMC's share price. According to CEO Adam Aron, holding the reverse split will make AMC's share price more robust, at least superficially. Quote, for a variety of reasons, including the technical listing rules of the stock exchanges, we think it's unwise for our shares to be trading at levels in the single digits, he recently said. Aron also claims that he is the primary, I don't know why that was so hard to say, a shareholder of AMC and the ape units. That would give him a vested interest in the proposal's approval because his net worth is tied to the health of the company. Why CEO Adam Aron urges shareholders to vote yes. On AMC's 4th quarter earnings call, Aron urged AMC shareholders to follow his recommendation and vote in favor of the proposals. He listed 7 reasons why shareholders should consider voting yes at the March 14th shareholder meeting. Number 1, a more resilient AMC. Aron pointed out that having the flexibility to efficiently, quote, tap both the equity and debt capital markets will result in a more resilient company. The CEO said that had it not been for this ability in AMC's recent history, the company probably would have not survived the pandemic. Number 2, reduce capital raising inefficiencies associated with APE units at a discount to AMC shares. The conversion to a single equity will eliminate the price inequalities between the two equity units, according to the CEO. This disparity isn't right because holders of each unit have the same voting power. Let me simplify this and explain this to you guys really quick. So remember how Intera Capital just bought a bunch of shares, right? APE shares at like 60 cents. Well, the stock at the time was trading for over $1. They were able to do that, and typically when a company does raise capital, they raise it at a lower price than where the stock is trading at. So whoever's buying that can almost instantaneously make money on that trade, right? It's like trading money up front with AMC to just sell it and get more back, right? Gives AMC capital all, and you ultimately make money. Long story short, he's saying you wouldn't be able to do deals like this, that you would actually get a better bang for your buck if it was one equity. And obviously that's the case here. So wanted to break that down for you guys. Number 3, enhance the ability to raise cash and increase liquidity. This initiative is AMC's priority in terms of capital allocation. Recently, AMC reported liquidity of $853 million. The ability to raise liquidity was crucial for AMC right after the pandemic hit. Still, how long will it take for AMC to fully recover from COVID may depend on the company's ability to raise more cash and increase its liquidity. And that obviously goes without saying, right? Raise capital. It's going to be a positive thing fundamentally for AMC. Could it affect AMC's share price in the short term? Possibly. I would also argue that the markets are so forward looking that what we're going to talk about here in a second, Intera Capital owns over 1/3 of the APE shares. The vote's probably priced in that it's going to happen. So meaning that where AMC is currently trading at, probably at the discount to say the vote's going to happen, right? That you might not see this huge downside after the March 14th vote or after April 27th, whatever happens on these two dates. You might not see a big downside move if this initiative is actually voted as a yes. Now, where I do disagree strongly is that recovering from the COVID pandemic and raising capital at this point, I don't think are connected. Box office, it's still intact, right? People are still going to theaters. AMC is sure still losing money, but I don't think the path to recovery will make any difference if AMC has another $1 billion or $200 million or whatever number you want to put on it. It's either they're going to make a profit or they're not at this point. That's it. That's all it comes down to. I don't think raising more money will make them get to a profit any sooner at this point. Right? They have the tools they need, just like Fed Jerome Powell saying he's going to keep raising rates on us. He has the tools he needs, just the timing and if inflation will come down at all, different story. Same thing with AMC. Number 4, strengthen AMC's balance sheet. AMC's balance sheet fluctuates depending on box office results. However, recent years have opened up opportunities for the company to use available equity to raise cash and to write down or renegotiate debt for equity at a deep discount, which ultimately benefits AMC and its shareholders in the long term. Basically what he's saying here, let's just break this down in simple terms and use some simple math to do so, right? If AMC had $200 billion or $200 million of debt, and let's say they wanted to get rid of this debt, well, Adam Aaron's saying that if AMC has a stronger balance sheet, a stronger prospect of staying around, right, then maybe they could just sell $100 million worth of equity, aka shares, for $200 million in debt. So that conversion would get a lot better, where ultimately AMC could pay off more debt by giving away less equity, which would be a good thing, which would likely be the case if this did pass. And that is one of those things where you can't disagree would be a positive thing for AMC if this vote does happen. Now, net, you'll have to come to your own conclusions. Me personally, I think there's a lot of good on both sides, and there's also some bad on both sides, right? So keep that in mind. That is number 4. Now, number 5, simplify AMC's ownership. Consolidation into a single equity eliminates the trading impasses and complexity that some brokerages impose on investors and traders regarding APE units. It would also eliminate the arbitrage trades that many hedge funds and investors have engaged in due to the share price discrepancy between the two equities. And that's literally what we're facing right now, right? The arbitrage trade, people are buying APE, they're shorting AMC essentially. He's saying that wouldn't be the case. But what did you expect, dude? Let's be honest. Let's call it out where the bullshit is. What did you expect? This was planned by AMC. I don't think AMC and the executives are that stupid to realize APE and AMC were never going to trade at the same price. Even though they're the same thing, it was never going to happen. So to sit here and say this is somehow a positive thing, I would disagree. I think this is a neutral thing. I think it really doesn't matter in the grand scope of things. He's trying to say that this merger actually happening would positively affect AMC, which is possible. Again, like I said, the markets are probably already implying and pricing in, right? Pricing in, just so you guys know, is basically implying that this vote will already happen. So I like to say this all the time. Quick analogy. If we knew an asteroid was coming next month and it was going to take out the world, it was too late to launch missiles and deflect it or blow it up. Stock market's going to gap down 20% day after day after day for the next 5 days. They might just close the markets entirely because at that point, the world's going to end anyways. And what's it matter? Basically the same thing here. Now, 7, create long-term number 6, transform AMC into a stronger and more diversified company. A single class of equity could bring more shareholder value and create diversification opportunities for AMC beyond its core business. And obviously, I think that's the case. If they could invest their money well, that would be a good thing. But as of right now, AMC really doesn't have a track record of doing that. They really have not invested their money well that they have raised. They really haven't invested it all too much. Their return on investment numbers don't look good. So I don't know if you can make this argument at this point. Obviously, if they could, that would be good, right? But doesn't look like that is happening right now. There you are. Number 7, create long-term value for AMC. Since the announcement of the intention to convert APE units into AMC shares, AMC's equity value has increased substantially. But yes, look at everything else going on. I mean, the lawsuit, more specifically. That is a big thing that helped create a lot of uncertainty around if this vote was ever going to pass through the courts. And now you've really kicked the can down the road. Even if you do get a yes vote on March 14th, doesn't mean it's actually going to go through. It has to go through the courts. Now, will the vote pass? For starters, AMC will need to resolve the class action lawsuit that the Allegheny County Employees Retirement System has brought against the company. The retirement fund seeks to block voting on the proposals because it alleges AMC broke the law by carrying out a strategy to dilute the voting power of AMC Class A stockholders. And I think that is true, right? To say, or do I should say, sell so many shares to a hedge fund that has an arbitrage trade that is going to make money if this happens, to sell so many shares to them and then all of a sudden announce this conversion, or this conversion from APE into AMC, it's going to benefit the hedge funds. They're arguing it's not really going to benefit the shareholders, and they did that on purpose. They rigged the system essentially on purpose, and they clearly did. So I think a judge is probably going to side with us ultimately. When it comes down to it, this is probably not going to pass the court system due to the way they did it. Even if they waited a couple months between Intera Capital purchasing the shares and doing this and trying to vote to incorporate APE into AMC, then it would have looked a little bit better. But the fact they did both of these pretty much instantaneously, I think the argument is very true. And I don't think any reasonable court is going to deny that AMC essentially rigged this vote by letting Intera Capital purchase so many shares, have over a 1/3 voting power on this whole thing. Class action, the Class A shares, the AMC we own, doesn't even matter if you vote, essentially, because Intera Capital and other hedge funds are just going to vote it for a yes, and all you need is 51% to get a yes. So honestly, this might cause the squeeze. So it's going to be very interesting. And keep in mind, April 27th is the day that we'll know if this will proceed. If the judge says this will proceed, I would expect a 20 to 40% rally upon that happening, based on where the short interest currently is, over 25% right now. And that is way higher than where AMC was at beforehand. And if you look at AMC on a technical basis, the markets seem to think that there's a pretty good chance this might not actually happen as well. Look, you are in bullish territory. You are in a bullish uptrend, a clear defined bullish uptrend with more than 4 touching points on both sides. It doesn't get more textbook than this. And you're sitting at the lower level. It looks like you could be about due for a bounce very, very shortly. So there is that. Now, it says the company already has a big advantage in approving the proposals. One of the key reasons is the fact that hedge fund Intera Capital has acquired 60 million APE shares with an agreement to purchase a further 196 million shares. That would total about 225 million APE shares. Intera Capital has also agreed to vote yes to the share conversion measure, guaranteeing at least more than a third of the necessary votes. Exactly what I just said. This is not like a free market. It's not like you're giving AMC shareholders an actual vote here if Intera is going to control such a large majority of the voting power, which coincidentally happened pretty much at the same time. So I don't think this is going to pass the courts, and I think ultimately that would cause shorts to run out of their short positions. You don't want to be short on this if this conversion does not happen. The reason people are short on AMC and long on APE is because it's a home run arbitrage trade if this does happen. If you're buying APE right now, you are going to make money if this does happen. If it does not, well, if you were short on AMC, you want to look out. And that would instantly cause the mother of all short squeezes in a very dramatic turn of events. In my personal opinion, that would be a hell of a way to cap off this AMC MOASS saga. So that is pretty much going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys got a better perspective on how important this March 14th vote ultimately is. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out of this video. If you have not already, like I said, I don't know what you are waiting for, because it is free 99. And legend has it, the more people that hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, we might actually get that no vote. So show your friends, show your family, show your fellow apes. I don't care. That is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.